Should Christians really be so focused on homosexuality? Should Christians really be so focused on gay rights issues? This is a question that comes up again and again in holiness discussions and discussions about faith. Interestingly, it's not a question that comes up when Christians are denouncing evils such as porn, such as lying, such as cheating. But every time the topic of conversation turns to homosexuality, why are Christians so focused on this issue? Why is there this unique obsession with homosexuality? First of all, there's no discernible, unique obsession with homosexuality in the church. If anything, the topic is by and large ignored by the church because of the political pressures and the social pressures and the cultural pressures of today's society. Yet we, particularly as pastors, must learn to be faithful to preach the whole counsel of God. But why is it that it seems that Christians are so focused on homosexuality these days? Again, I would dispute the idea that homosexuality is a topic of obsession in the church. You could go to church for a whole year and never hear it preached on once in most churches in America or in the Western world. Again, because of the political, social, and cultural pressures that are silencing the pulpit and are preventing our pastors from preaching the full counsel of God. In spite of the God-given rights, in spite of our political freedoms, many preachers are allowing themselves to be silenced. Many individual Christians, which we all are allowing ourselves to be silenced on this issue because of all of the pressures. But why is it that there seems to be so much focus on the topic in popular conversation? Well, look, if we're in a war and we see that our enemy is massing thousands and thousands of troops on one corner of the battlefield, it only makes sense that even if they are not presently attacking, that we send in an equal number of troops to meet the challenge that is being posed against us. When the world and the culture and society and the political factions that lobby against the church, that lobby against the work of God in society, are all meeting at one focal point on the social and cultural issue of homosexuality, it only makes sense that Christians would rally at that point, that we must be faithful to the God of the Bible on that point. Of course, we must be faithful to the God of the Bible at every point, no matter how minute, no matter how small, no matter how remote. Because the Bible is inerrant. There's no errors in the Bible. Because the Bible is infallible. There's no proclamation in the Scriptures that is ever going to fail. The whole counsel of God is important. The whole counsel of God is going to prove true. And so, whenever the world and the devil and the flesh and the political powers that be choose to attack the Bible and biblical pronouncements and Christian culture on one point, it only makes sense that we who are faithful to God would rally at that one point and show to the world that no matter what the cost, no matter what the consequence, we are going to stay faithful to God, no matter what people say about us, no matter what they do to denounce us. But in a spirit of love, in a spirit of faithfulness, in a spirit of grace and mercy and Christian love, we firmly declare that we will not back down, that we will not retreat, that we will not be silenced, that we will proclaim the message of the kingdom of God in the fullness of truth.